welcome to the channel. My name's Jennifer and these are my takes. Hello subscribers, renegades, and music lovers. Today I'm finally sharing the project I've been teasing in the comment section on my community page and in previous videos. I've done a deep dive into Hi Ren.
Oh my god! Wow!
But Jennifer, you've already posted a Hi Ren reaction video. Why do another? Well, fair question. After posting my original Hi Ren reaction video, I knew I hadn't given it the attention or the depth that it deserved. The song had sort of left me wrecked emotionally. Seeing inside Ren's head sent me deep into my own thoughts, and when it was over, I'd missed half the lyrics, and but I'd come away with some pretty compelling questions. Why was the performance so powerful? You know, what made it resonate? Was I the only reactor who had a strong emotional reaction? What lyrics? You know, I'd missed probably half of them, and so what additional insights could I gain by learning the rest of the lyrics? So I did what your average obsessed music nerd would do. I went down my very first YouTube rabbit hole. I started by checking out some of Ren's older videos and interviews, and the algorithm responded by flooding my feed with other Hi Ren reaction videos, so I started watching those too. The first one I picked, well, I chose it because it had the word therapist in the title, you know, because obviously.
Emotional, damn it!
And then I watched a group of young men watch it together or react to it together. I followed that with watching a pastor and a therapist. Then I watched rockers and rappers, couples, classical musicians, writers, directors, video editors, artists, and people of every kind. And yet, despite their different backgrounds, musical tastes, and personalities, I noticed something striking. I noticed that there was a universal reaction cycle.
What?
Initially, viewers displayed expressions of intrigue, you know, their brows furrow as the eyes locked in and focus. And then the eyebrows, they kind of shoot up with surprise when Ren starts to yodel. Yes, I said yodel. Then heads start sort of nodding in sync to the music when he settles into his rhythm and starts spitting bars. And then there's a point where viewers settle into acceptance, waiting to see where it all leads. And where does it lead? Spoiler alert, it leads to joy. In the end, reactors smile broadly and pump their fists in the air, and it's a beautiful thing to see. Again and again, I heard the same words. I was not expecting that. What did I just watch? Wow, that was powerful. And there you have it, the most common word used to react or used in a reaction video to Hi Ren, powerful. Powerful. But why? What is it about Hi Ren that grabs you by the soul and refuses to let go? That's what we're here to unpack, so let's get into it. If you watched my first reaction video to Hi Ren, you saw my genuine first impression. I expected, I don't know, a song. What I got was a psychological and emotional roller coaster that grabbed me by the soul and refused to let go. I went in thinking, cool, a music reaction. I came out questioning life, art, and whether or not I needed to book a therapy appointment. I had hit the play button with the usual eager anticipation when checking out new music, only to be immediately unsettled. There was a man wearing a pig mask pushing Ren in a wheelchair into the scene, which basically immediately establishes this weird power imbalance. The pig is in control, Ren is not. The symbolism of the pig mask is difficult to ignore. They typically represent corruption, greed, or oppression when used in media and art. Whether it's a nod to Orwell's Animal Farm or just a metaphor for Ren's struggle against the system, The imagery, as I said, is unsettling, and that's before Ren even plays or sings a single note. Then the Hi Ren title slide flashes on the screen, and Ren begins to play his guitar. Immediately, his guitar playing impressed and enchanted me. It sort of reminded me of the flamenco style of playing. And those notes, they were like loose threads from a magic carpet that touched my heart, struck a chord, and bound me for the rest of the journey. Initially, Ren's guitar playing lifted us off the ground and we were soaring. Then turbulence. His playing starts building tension and he forces the notes higher and higher on the fretboard, you know, sort of pushing us towards the brink. Then all of a sudden he gracefully brings us back down and we descend, floating like a feather into a comfortable rhythm. And so I settled in to enjoy the rest of the ride. So for the first full minute of the song, Ren says or sings nothing. And the first time we do hear his voice, he's not rapping or singing, he's yodeling. And when I heard that, I was like, I'm not sure this is gonna capture and retain my attention all the way to the end. It was kind of weird. And I'm not alone in that reaction to the yodel. In my opinion, the yodel is the make or break moment of the video. If the yodeling turns you off, you're done with Hi Ren. It's too weird, too unfamiliar, doesn't make you want to dance. I wasn't done though. I was curious. Like me, many reactors don't realize that Hi Ren is a 9-minute video until they're deep into their reaction. But for those who ride through to the end, it's well worth the time spent, despite feeling downright uncomfortable along the way. You see, I have family members with severe mental health challenges, and anyone who's lived with someone with these types of challenges know how far-reaching the impacts can be. A person who has a mental illness through no fault of their own can't help but share some of the negative consequences of that illness. So when I picked up on the duality or split personality theme, I was wondering, oh, is this schizophrenia or multiple personality disorder we're dealing with here? Clearly, Ren was talking about mental illness. Around the 3.5-minute mark, when he touches on imposter syndrome, I was gutted. We weren't just talking about other people's problems or Ren's problems now, we were talking about me. And Ren had sort of unmercifully picked a scab, so to speak.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
After that, though, I couldn't look away. I'd gone into my head and lost track of the lyrics, but then around the 5-minute mark, several things hit me all at once, and I hit pause for the first time. Now, a quick disclaimer here, sort of hippie alert. I'm a double Pisces with a life path number of 9, and that means in astrological terms, both the sun and moon were in Pisces at the time of my birth. And numerology says that my life path is guided by the number 9, if you believe in that kind of stuff. So the performance spoke to my creative and empathetic nature, while also tugging at my maternal instincts. I was watching Ren share his pain and suffering right along with him. So when he had touched on imposter syndrome, I was just tipped over the edge emotionally. I mean, look behind me here. You can see my art supplies back there. I paint, I draw, I like to sing and dance. I enjoy cooking from scratch and building things with my hands. I create. I call myself a 24/7, 365 creative, and that's because one way or another I'm creating 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So, like Ren, I'm a true creative. Now, please don't understand me. This is not to say that I put myself on the same talent level as Ren. I would never do that. But I connected on the topic that resonates with so many people. And for me, like I said, that was imposter syndrome, which manifests as a near constant, if not chronic, internal dialogue with the worst part of myself, my ego. So the conversation in this performance isn't unique to people struggling with mental health. Everyone experiences self-doubt wearing you down and feeding on your insecurities. The brilliance of Hi Ren is that he doesn't just tell you about his battle, he lets us hear it, feel it, and live it in real time. And so let's get back to why I hit the pause button at this point in the song.
But my music's not commercial like that. I never chase numbers, statistics or stats. I never write hooks for the radio, they never even play me, so why would I concern myself with that? But my music is really connecting, and the people who find it respect it. And for me that's enough, cause this life's been tough, so it gives me a purpose I can rest in.
A purpose I can rest in. Such a beautiful concept. I was reflecting on how searching for your life's purpose can be a heavy weight at various times throughout your life. Ren said he's been given a purpose he can rest in. And that isn't saying with confidence that he's found his purpose. To me, instead, he's saying he's found a purpose that he can embrace or live with in the absence of a clear assignment from the creator. He's found a way to be useful in this life and to give back, and he's grateful to be alive. And if you've watched any of my other reaction videos, you know that I don't hesitate to pause if I've got thoughts to share. I've often heard as much in the comments section, but the first time I hit pause during Hi Ren, my voice cracked and I babbled something about being in awe of the rawness of the performance. I was in awe. This young man, he exposed his vulnerabilities. He put himself out there and lay himself bare for anyone to see. It's really all I could do to keep from crying and basically sort of say, I don't know if I'm going to be able to break this video down. Okay. I'm in awe. I am in awe of how raw. Wow. I don't know if I'm going to be able to break this one down. I was emotional because I struggled with my connection to the subject matter, and I was unsure if I wanted to share those private details with my audience. At the time, my relationship with the YouTube community was pretty new, and who wants to see some chick cry online? Only weirdos hang around once that sort of baggage falls out of the proverbial closet.
That's right, speak your truth, your fucking god complex leaks out of you. It's refreshing to ask for you, say it instead of downplay it.
Music is all about the creative process, and if people can find something to relate to within that, then that's just a bonus.
Now there is more irony than I can handle in those lyrics. Chef's kiss. And then I think back to the lyrics I highlighted a minute ago when he said, but my music is really connecting, and the people who find it respect it. And for me, that's enough, because this life's been tough, so it gives me a purpose I can rest in. This isn't just a song, it's an incantation. It's a prophecy manifesting itself in real time. Ren isn't just an artist, he's a frickin' warlock. So by the time Ren introduces us to the true nature of his dark half, I was entirely at his mercy. I had hardly registered any of the lyrics I was hearing through the chaos. My head was swimming, my heart was in my throat, and then he says,
Newsflash! I was created at the dawn of creation. I am temptation. I am the snake in Eden. I am the reason for treason, beheading all kings. I am sin, with no rhyme or reason. Son of the morning, Lucifer, Antichrist, father of lies. Mephistopheles, truth in a blender, deceitful pretender, the banished avenger, the righteous surrender.
If you noticed, after Ren glitches, all of the lights begin to flash. He faces forward and the camera backs off so that we can see the entire room. and the overhead lights start to strobe, and it casts these long, very sharp shadows that alternate on the ground on either side of the wheelchair, and the effect is really jarring and almost violent. And then it occurred to me, as he states in the accompanying lyrics, he's inside a blender. His mind is being shredded apart in real time, the same way intrusive thoughts distort reality. See for yourself.
Standing in front of my solar eclipse, my name is stitched to your lips, so you see, I won't bow to the will of a mortal.
Did you see it too? Let me know in the comments. In my first reaction video, I was beyond uncomfortable at this point. I could have stopped at any point, right? Couldn't I? No. Once I was in, I was all the way in, and it didn't occur to me that I could or should stop. I was going to get all the way through it one way or the other, whether I liked it or not. And then just as the song sort of reaches maximum darkness, Ren rises from the wheelchair. It's more than just a prop. It's a symbol of his real life struggles with illness, of feeling trapped and powerless. So when he stands, it's defiance, it's resilience. He's not just rejecting his inner demons, he's rejecting the idea that he's broken. And he stands to face his dark side, chin held high, and the voice that had been changing back and forth from raspy and demonic to sort of placid and quiet was now strong and clear and beautiful. And his light side steps forward, facing off with his ego, and he knocks it down with hope.
And I go by many names also. Some people know me as Hope. Some people know me as the voice that you hear when you loosen the noose on the rope.
Then the yodel returns. Ren plays his guitar with the reckless abandon only made possible when allowing the dark and the light sides to play together. And the audience is transported. Then, for a moment, you think it's over. Ren quietly turns, unplugs his guitar, and rests it on the ground in front of the wheelchair. He then turns back towards us, the camera tightly framing his face, as he shares an eloquent monologue about the journey and the lessons learned along the way. We are not in control of our existence, but we are in control of how we weather the storms. And this is why Hi Ren differs from most stories about overcoming adversity. He doesn't defeat the darkness, but rather acknowledges it with respect. Healing isn't about erasing your struggles, but learning to live with them. Ren says in his monologue, just like light needs shadow to exist, we need our struggles to shape who we are. And we are not meant to be perfect creatures. It's those imperfections that make us human.
It was never really a battle for me to win. It was an eternal dance. And like a dance, the more rigid I became, the harder it got. The more I cursed my clumsy footsteps, the more I struggled. So I got older, and I learned to relax, and I learned to soften, and that dance got easier. It is this eternal dance that separates human beings from angels, from demons, from gods.
Then the title slide flashes across the screen again, and I had to giggle a little bit at the look at Ren's face when he was disconnecting his guitar and sort of negotiating that hospital gown. But it was a much needed moment of levity after that 9-minute saga. And when it was finally over and I started to think about what I had just experienced, I was struck by his self-awareness and personal growth. I'm many years older than Ren, but he might be further along in learning his lessons for this life. I couldn't help but be impressed with the single take performance. Ren wasn't acting, he was living this battle in real time. 2 distinct personalities, 2 voices, two styles, never missing a beat. He's got major flexibility. And Ren doesn't just switch styles within Hi Ren, his entire body of work refuses to be confined to one genre. You know, whether it's the bluesy spoken word depth of Jenny's Tale, the socially charged hip hop of Money Game, or the stripped down folk vulnerability of Chalk Outlines, every song completely different yet undeniably Ren. And who is this guy with all of this talent? To better understand, let's take a look at the man behind the music, the struggles, the setbacks, and the unwavering resilience that led him to Hi Ren. Ren posted music and videos on YouTube for more than a decade before releasing Hi Ren. I'd venture to guess that he's been creating since he popped up on this planet. And as of this recording, Hi Ren has racked up more than 45 million views since its YouTube premiere on December 15th of 2022. His channel continues to grow with over 1.9 million subscribers. From a tiny village of around 603 people in North Wales to headlining festivals, Ren's journey is unlikely as it is inspiring.
No, I'm from an even smaller place called Dwyran, which is on the Isle of Anglesey. So Anglesey, if people don't know, it's like the head on the end of Wales.
A self-taught musician, he started with a guitar given to him by his father at age 10, and it wasn't long after that that he knew he wanted to be a musician. After hearing a DJ Aphrodite set, he became obsessed with producing drum and bass music at age 12. So Ren was making music, but living in a rural area didn't offer many opportunities for collaboration with other, musicians and vocalists. So he was incentivized to hone his own skills as a musician and a vocalist. Passion plus discipline multiplied by persistence is the equation for making your dreams come true, and Ren worked it. He left Wales at 19 and escaped, in his words, to pursue music. He moved to Newton Park campus of the Bath Spa University, where he earned a Bachelor of Arts degree in commercial music with honors. He'd started the indie hip-hop band Trick the Fox, but it was while busking in Brighton that music producer Eric Apopoli, if I'm saying that correctly, discovered him. In 2010, Ren signed a contract with sub-label of Sony Music and began work on his debut album. It was while he was touring to promote that album that he became very sick. He started feeling disassociated and experiencing pain that was impossible to ignore. A 3-month recuperative stay with his mother in Wales turned into a year of being bedridden most of the time and unable to continue his music career, sadly. His search for answers led to a misdiagnosis of depression, bipolar disorder, and chronic fatigue syndrome. In 2016, he received some stem cell treatment and gained some of his health back, but he wasn't regaining his energy level. But Ren persisted. He built a following in the UK with the Freckled Angels album. He continued to create and release music and videos as a solo artist and in collaboration with other UK artists. Mostly on his YouTube channel, Ren Makes Music, and you'll find a link for there in the description as well. Unlike his village of Dwyran, now he found himself amongst many talented working musicians in Brighton, and he had joined the Big Push. But despite selling out a UK tour in 2021, the band played their final show together in 2022, partly due to Ren's ongoing health challenges. Then on December 15th, 2022, Ren independently releases Hi Ren, a raw, unfiltered performance that quickly went viral, racking up 6.8 million views in just 2 months and catapulting him to global recognition. "2023 marked a breakout year for Ren, and he was named one of Atwood Magazine's artists to watch and highlighted by Society magazine as a rising talent in Sussex. In May, he was interviewed by Justin Hawkins of The Darkness, one of my favorite Ren interviews. Link in the description below.
The more and more I've dipped my toes into doing exactly what I want, which is really more of leaning towards the things like I've done with the Tales or with Hi Ren, or these more conceptual unstructured pieces that just musically kind of just go where they want to, rather than for returning home or returning to a bridge. Those things for me, they excite me a lot more, and they're the thing that gets me most inspired in the creative process. And the more it's funny, the less I've tried to cater to the masses, the more widely it's been accepted, which is a bit of a paradox.
Released in October of 2023, Sick Boy became a surprise chart success. It even overtook some major label artists, all by fan support, as Ren was undergoing medical treatment. His kaleidoscopic hip-hop style and personal storytelling debuted on the UK singles chart Top 100. And at one point, Sick Boy found itself in a chart battle for UK's #1 album with Rick Astley's latest release.
Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down.
Yep, you've been Rickrolled. No, not that Rick Astley song. But Sick Boy ultimately claimed the #1 spot, surpassing even major artists such as Drake, the PDF. Allegedly. In any case, Ren's music also gained recognition from critics and industry insiders. Music journalist Gareth Branwyn called his sound intense and refreshingly unique. And at the same time, radio presenter Hugh Stevens featured Sick Boy in his book Wales 100 Records, which is describing Ren's rapping as mesmerizing. And across the pond, Ren cracked the US charts as well. He came in at #4 on the Billboard Emerging Artists chart, #54 on the Billboard 100 Artists chart, and #137 on the Billboard 200. As 2023 came to a close, Ren's momentum kept building. Rolling Stone UK recognized him as one of 5 artists who made a formidable stamp on British music, and nominated him for the Breakthrough Award at the 2023 Rolling Stone UK Awards. Then, the London Music Video Awards, the LMVA, named Money Game Part 3 as December's Music Video of the Month, later awarding it Best Music Video, Best Director, Best Concept, and nominations for Best Cinematography and Best Narrative at those same awards. But the awards don't stop there. We also have Best Music Video, Best Director, and honorable mention for Best Cinematography in the International Music Video Awards, Best Music Video ECU, the European Independent Film Festival in 2024, and the British Arrows Y24 Shortlist Music Video Director and Producer categories. 2024 saw Ren return to the stage for the first time in 5 years. He headlined at Secret Garden Party, debuting his 2-hour, 2-part conceptual show, Asylum. He took the stage at the Sky Arts Awards, performing alongside The Darkness, Slash of Guns N' Roses, and AC/DC's Brian Johnson, The Three Sopranos, but behind the scenes, Ren's health continued to be a battle. After completing treatment from October of 2023 to June 2024, he shared that many of his symptoms had gone into remission. However, stress-related events triggered a relapse, and by September of 2024, their condition deteriorated rapidly. Still, he was hospitalized during that same month from complications due to autoimmunity. And so we pray for a speedy recovery and return to his passions. But in his absence, there is a lot more of Ren's music to check out. So nothing says healthy coping mechanism like binge watching a 9-minute emotional ambush. Shortly after I posted my Hi Ren reaction in November of 2023, I hit some hard times and it resulted in a 9-month gap between video posts. It got pretty dark for me during those months, and I really didn't have anywhere to turn or anyone I felt comfortable talking to. I didn't want to bring the people I loved down with the weight of what I was experiencing. I had lost faith in humanity for a while.
What?
By June, I had reached a point where I had to release the sadness, or I was going to be overcome by it. So instead of continually, pushing it down, which would surely lead to stomach issues, I started watching multiple Hi Ren reaction videos.
One eternity later.
I hate to cry. Um, but it's not because I want to seem, strong or be stoic, but it's because I feel awful afterwards. I look like a puffy-eyed snot goblin, and that's not the aesthetic I'm going for. Um, throbbing headache, stuffy nose. It just doesn't feel good. And so, as far as I am concerned, anyone who ever tells you that you feel great after a good cry is lying. Personal opinion. Additionally, the more reaction videos I watched, the more I learned about the nuances of this video. More importantly, though, I found people I identified with and connected to. I became a new member of this large and loyal fan base worldwide, proudly calling ourselves Renegades. Many of us started with Hi Ren, as I did, and I believe it's the best introduction into his music. The power of the performance and his authenticity on the subject matter makes it undeniably relatable. Mental illness is so common, it's kind of scary. According to some statistics I pulled off the World Health Organization website, 1 in every 8 people in the world lives with a mental disorder. And Google estimates that 7 in every 1,000 families across the globe have a family member with mental illness. And those numbers, they seem pretty solid when I consider how many reactors were touched by that aspect of the song. Some reactors openly stated their connection to the song's themes. I wasn't the only one who responded emotionally. That's what music does, though. Music has the power to connect us all. So if the yodeling was the moment you realized this wasn't your average song, welcome to the club. We have jackets. But seriously, I'd really like to know what moment in Hi Ren hit you the hardest. Was it the gut punch lyrics? Was it the raw performance? The fact that a dude in a hospital gown just made you question your existence? Music is more than just sound or vibration. With this song, music is the invisible thread that connects us, reminding us that we're not alone. For some, it also provides a therapy session we didn't know we needed. When I first hit play, I thought I was reacting to a song. I didn't realize I was stepping into a roller coaster with no seatbelt, no warning signs, just 9 minutes of raw truth and emotional whiplash. And yet, somehow, Hi Ren left me feeling more seen, more understood, and less alone than I had in a long time. That's the power of music. That's the power of honesty. That's the power of connection. So if you vibed with this deep dive, hit like and subscribe and join the chaos. And if you're already in the club, you already know where the jackets are. So until next time, stay connected, stay curious, and most importantly, stay human. Peace and have a great day.